Well, good evening, and I love you. Welcome to Tough Love with the Chieftess. I'm going to give everybody a second to get set up, including myself. For those who have been waiting for me to come on here, I truly appreciate your patience. This is always a bit of a process for me to figure this out and to actually get on here. So, I have probably missed most of you on the East Coast, but you'll be able to tune into this later and watch it in the new day. So I'm going to make sure I'm doing this right. Make sure I'm set up here. Is this right? I think so. It's hard for me to tell what I'm doing. Okay. I think I'm going here. I think I'm doing it right. We're gonna give it a whirl. Let's see here. Let me get everything in order. Have my water. Hello, hello. At least I know I'm working now. And I'm connected. These things are always a trip for me. I'm never quite sure if I'm hooked up and doing what I'm supposed to be doing in the right way, but we'll give it our best go. So, welcome. Thanks for joining me this evening. As I was saying, it's always quite a process for me to get on here. I actually get, it takes a whole lot of calming me down and a whole lot of centering me to be ready to speak in front of others, connect with others. I'm just being brutally honest to help me calm down. Hello, Audrey. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here with me. I love you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, and then we're going to get started with some, hey boo, I know, right? This is like, so let me let you in on a secret. For those that know me know, I manifest characters, right? I create characters to help me grow. Since I seem to death sentence Heather and decide that Heather should only be a certain type of way, I've had a really hard time in my past giving myself freedom to grow and change. So I create characters, right? So I'm hatching a new character, and this is her color. I don't want to give you too much information yet, but I'm trying to give you a clue without giving you too much. I'm so silly. And I get so excited about it. And this is why it works. This is why it's really effective. When you pair this childlike enthusiasm with conscious want and focus, that's powerful manifestation right there. So thank you for the love on my shirt. I chose it. Yeah, this, oh my God, I gotta show you. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's late here and I'm so excited. Okay, let me see. You get a load of this. Hold on. It might take the whole screen to show you. Look at that. Oof. Look at those. How fabulous are those? Oh my goodness. That's my outfit. I know, right? Snap. I'm like, hey mama, Jackie, I love you. Happy holidays. Did you see my boots? Girl, I'm like 6'4" with these, 6'5" with these on. Hold on, let me see if I can stand, but I don't think I'll still be on the screen. They're so much fun. Look at this, look at this. Can you see that? I got a little skirt on, so I got to be careful. Well, you might have to run it back. I'll try one more time. Hold on. It's really worth it. I know. My dog's like, what the? Shh, look at that. And then look at this. Whoa. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So we got the crew I'm going to chat out with you guys, love on you a little bit, answer some questions tonight. Just take a few minutes and breathe and connect. In the midst of all this, let's call it creative chaos going on in the world. So let's do just that with my super flash shirt. Okay, this is a, yes, heart chakra bowl. Excuse me, it's a Tibetan singing bowl. For those who have not seen one of these. And I'm going to play this, and it's going to play a tone, and it'll help you calm down and breathe and center. And so I'm going to give you, if you'd like, you can take a few deep breaths with me. And when you take your inhale in through your nose, and when you let that exhale go out through your mouth, make it so you can hear it like this. It's called an audible exhale, okay? And what happens is, I gotta find out where the camera is on here so I know where I'm looking. Not that way, this way, yes? Okay, I'm good now. I don't like to look like I'm all like, nah. Okay, pay attention. Are you ready? Follow me now, okay? I got no sense, y'all. It's called an audible exhale. And when you let that breath go and you can hear it, your body can hear it. So your body calms down. It's like hearing yourself sigh and relax, and it helps you calm down. So go ahead and close your eyes. I'll stop being silly for a couple minutes. And go ahead and relax your feet and relax your hands. Close your eyes, and you might want to relax with your hands open and your palms up. And however your fingers touch or don't touch is fine. And how about we first lift and roll our shoulders back. And lift and roll your shoulders back. 2 more times. Lift and roll your shoulders back. And lift and roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward twice. It feels so good. Bring them forward. Roll them big and forward. Let's do one more time. It helps them calm down. A big roll of the shoulders and relax your shoulders. And close your eyes. And take a big breath in through your nose. And let it go out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And if you so choose, you can repeat after me. I am in the flow today. I allow all things good to come to me. I am a tool of God's use. I am a beacon of God's love. I am an instrument of God's will. And all is well with my soul. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Let your eyes smile. And you can open your eyes. Doesn't that feel good? It helps you calm down, yes? Okay. All right. That's a meditation for those who are new to the game. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk a little bit about some of the crazy things that are coming to light in today's world, and how that is affecting a whole lot of people that are choosing to pay a lot of attention to it, and how it ends up affecting your health, and how it can affect most everything around you for that matter. So we have a whole lot, this day on earth is being called a whole lot of things by a whole lot of people, like a time of awakening, of ascension, an information what is the word I want to read? The information, I can't remember the right thing I read the other day, but anyway, whole lot of focus on the fact that there is information coming to light on earth. The fact of the matter is the information has always been available. It's just that the want is being presented because the energy is changing on earth, and so the human creature is changing on earth. Therefore, our relationship with the planet, our relationship with Creator, our relationship with each other is changing. And so it is my experience right now that as we're becoming aware of a whole lot of stuff that's going on in the government, in the powers that be, some people are really focused on all this nasty stuff. I do want to say, so on here, I guess I've really kept it pretty G-rated as far as what I talk about on here. I haven't really gone down any rabbit holes or, well, not for a while. I used to quite a bit. Or talked about stuff that's too, what's the word? Scandalous, you know, conspiracy-ish. But it just so ends up that most every time I'm in any sort of intimate conversation with anyone, someone, you know, at this point says, hey, can I ask you about this? Or what do you think about this? And that's where the convo goes. And so it's happening so often that I figured it's probably just time to have a public convo. And it's also come to my awareness that a whole lot of the people that are becoming more aware of the problem are becoming more preoccupied with it, and it's affecting their health, which is understandable because what's going on in today's operating systems is more dysfunctional and disgusting and diseased than most of us can possibly fathom. In 2012, the end of 2012, I began to experience periods of learning where I would say felt like spirit would hook up to my head and teach me things that I would never have learned in any other way or any other capacity. I would not have thought to go looking for most of these things. And it was presented to me. At the time, it was very scary. It was more than I thought I could deal with. It was more than I thought I could handle. It was more than I thought I could fathom. And it was really, actually, I thought I had kind of lost my cookies and gone cuckoo, to be honest. It would have been easier if what I had been learning was not the truth and I had just like lost my crap, you know. But what ended up happening was everywhere I went, I said Spirit did what I called putting boots on the ground, meaning if I learned something that was too unfathomable for me to digest, I would run into someone in some random conversation and something that I had learned would come up in the conversation and be verified. And so it was a really trippy time of learning that a whole lot, no, I take that back. It was a very trippy time of learning that most everything I had been taught about the world around me was not true. And most of what I had learned about myself, a lot of that was not true. And my relationship to this planet and to everything around me wasn't even the slightest bit explained to me. And so I decided to step into learning about all of these things so that eventually I could step out of the problem. I started to pay attention to a lot of, this was, like I said, in the end of 2013, 2012, 2013. And so I took myself off the grid so to speak. Then I stopped watching TV. I quit listening to the radio and listening to any teachers or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that what I was learning, I'm fidgety. I wanted to make sure that what I was in fact learning was what I was learning, and I wanted to be clear about my hearing and my listening. And so I didn't want it diluted with others' learnings at the same time, or their methods or teachings. It wasn't a matter of being right or wrong. It was a matter of honing my listening. I need something to do with my hands. My goodness. So, the more I started to learn, the more I became uncomfortable in my current surroundings and my way of living, and the ways that are readily accepted around me. And I tried to talk to a lot of people about it back then, and I just freaked people out. I scared a lot of people around me at the time, trying to talk to them about what I'd learned. And, did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? And did you know this? And I got met with a whole lot of shocked faces. And it was not comfortable, and it didn't feel good. And it didn't calm me down or make me feel safe at all. I got better at the periods of learning. The learning increased. I became more able to dial in my broadcast, so to speak, to hone my station. And I felt more alienated in my current life. So, my son was little, my girls were in high school. I could stay busy enough with the everyday things going on in my kids' life and just my life and work and stuff like that, but it was a lonely life, not being able to talk to anyone, have any friends really on this stuff. So I remember in my backyard I called out God. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, why are you going to teach me this bullshit if you're not going to give me any friends and help me use it? Like, what is this sense? Like, this is just nuts. And the planet herself changed in her relationship to me. And specifically at first, birds of prey began to appear all over my yard, our life. It was weird for my girls at first. It was cool for my son because he was little, but it was awkward for my girls. And because it was like a lot of birds, a lot of really big birds, and just all kinds of animals would come to say hi to me. And I was fine with it, and I had not been like that before. And just the way that I saw things, felt things changed then. It's like I began to feel like everything hugged me and loved on me, and I could do the same to it, unlike anything I had ever felt before. It was a degree of compassion that made me so raw and vulnerable that I couldn't intermingle with others for a while. I felt safe in my home. And it's funny because, like I said, this was quite a few years ago. Not that I'm tiny now, but I was diesel at this time. And I was afraid. I just felt so raw in my way of interacting with others. And so it was hard for me to be around others at this rate of learning and not having, and the degree of change in my heart space and how I interacted with everything around me. And not having a teacher, you know, I guess it was really good in a way that I was so busy with my children and my business, because I had to keep putting one foot in front of the other in like remedial grounded tasks, which kept me having to move forward in simplistic ways, you know, which was really beneficial. Because otherwise it was just so crazy what was going on in my head. And like, I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic of like the highest order. I know that sounds so alcoholic. We're always trying to be the best alcoholic, the best drug addict, right? I did this and I did that. I've been detained with a .416 blood alcohol level, walking, talking, coherently giving nutrition advice to the sheriff deputy detaining me. I used to go hard. So I remember times of being like I had hardcore DTs a few times. I had a couple seizures, trying to come off drinking. I used to do other drugs. So like this whole time felt like a really like lucid trip or something like that, you know, like something from my past, which was terribly uncomfortable because, you know, I'm supposed to be grounded and focused and sober, and what's going on with this, like, the way that I'm feeling and relating now no longer lines up with what I've been taught and what I've learned. And it's like it didn't go, you know? So I started to study a lot about energy, and I could understand through studying energy, the laws of nature on this planet, the physics that apply on this planet. I started to learn a lot about how species evolve, what works on this planet, what doesn't, how things are. You know, some stuff like the physics of planet Earth, they apply. Like gravity applies. You can say F you gravity, but she's still gonna hold your ass tethered to the planet. You know what I mean? Like, it's still gonna be like that. So I started to learn the constants, the consistence on this planet. I started to go back on our species. I found out a lot about the beginning systems on this planet, the systems that even BC, that were planted in one town to another, that created the first banking systems that strategically connected large areas that have evolved into the modern Federal Day Reserve. The practices that these people adopted, abided by, have continued to bring forth, and how those practices and that way of operating has affected modern day humanity. I started to learn about the stats of people going missing in this country and other countries around the world. About what goes on with kids, where it comes from, what that looks like right now, all that jazz. I have to pick my words carefully on some of these networks. By the way, I forgot to say that in the beginning. I've created my own network. You're going to need to come there so I can speak freely. Everything I put on here will be uploaded to YouTube, and it will also be uploaded to the Chieftess Living Network. And when we get done here, make sure you click on that so that you can join the network, where I can say whatever I want because it's mine. So That's really cool. I'll tell you more about that. But anyway, I started to learn about this really heinous crap that is going on. And this, like I said, this was like 10 years ago. 8 to 10 years ago. And it was very scary. It was very dark. It was very lonely. It affected my fundamental security in every way. It affected the, I started to learn about other stories of creation. It affected my most fundamental beliefs of a God, a creator. It shook me like to the core. But at the same time, I guess it also allowed me to realize that, like, we can use the word God, we can use the word creator, whatever it is y'all are comfortable with. I'll say spirit for this sentence. But I realized in all of that at that time that my faith, knowing, understanding, whatever word you want to use, of spirit were greater than anything I'd ever been taught in any kind of religious sense, because what I had been taught in front of me and the humanity in front of me no longer lined up with what I knew to be true in my own soul. And so I decided I know God in a way better than I've been taught. And that's true for me every second of every day. I gotta stay on track, but that's a whole nother podcast. So this goes on for a while, and I start to learn more about energy. I start to learn more about how this stuff has gone on for a really long time. See, that's why I'm talking about this stuff now. People are finding out about these things now as if they're new. They are not. They are not new. These systems have been in place for a really long time, longer than most people have any idea. And they're going to be in place for a long time, because much of this stuff that these people have created is manifested on occult cycles, which is, that word has a really nasty connotation, but really it has nothing more to do than manipulating the physics on this planet, which anyone can do with the knowing and understanding. So what's been, the soup that's been stirred up is gonna be cooking for a minute. But the kicker is, you don't have to be of the soup. You don't have to eat it. You don't have to have anything to do with the current programming. And that's what I want to share today. I know that a lot of people are really spun about what they're learning. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And so people are thinking that, oh my God, it's so bad on Earth today. It's such a bad deal. It's such a bad day. It's not. It's the best day ever. What's happening is these bugs have always been here. But when you turn the lights on, when it's been a dark room, all of the bugs are visible and they all scurry. And that's what's going on right now. We're getting to see all of the bugs that have been here for a really long time. But you see, if they get to be so heinous, then no one can say, oh no, they're not there, it's fake news, I don't believe you. It's not. Because, we're all kind of aware now that there's a little man behind the curtain saying, don't look at the wizard. If you're not, you're choosing not to. And those, to each his own. I've decided that I want to talk to the people who are ready to grow and use their own energy and use their own power and empower themselves in the solution. For those who are not, to each his own. I have been able to create a really healthy and happy life during all of this, knowing that this time was going to come when all of this is going to be fully revealed for everyone, and the average human being has not created their own safe space. They have not been able to meet and greet their own feelings in order to prepare to have their foundation shook at the core. And so it's a hard time for everyone right now. That's what's happening. We're being presented with the ability to turn the lights on and make some different choices. And it's happening on the collective level, and it's happening on the individual level, which is always what happens, because as is above, so is below, as is within, so is without. So whatever we're experiencing out here is a reflection of what we're experiencing in here, right? And so whatever's going on out there, so we're seeing all the stuff that's happening in the world, and we're also seeing in our own personal lives the stuff that's happening in our own belief systems. If we're in a crappy relationship, it's probably really crappy right now. If we're not taking care of our health, it's really bad right now. If we're denying our feelings and it's manifesting in our body and in our beliefs and our relationships, it's really bad right now. So it sounds like it's also bad, you know. It's also bad. These things are in motion, and there's not much you can do about it, and da-da-da-da. And that's absolutely not the truth. The truth is, we are walking, talking, breathing superconductors, like more powerful than you have any idea. See, the part that I started to realize too with all this crazy crap going on is there's a question here that no one seems to ask, because we're not even aware of what we are. We're so focused on, I'm trying to think about how to phrase this without going into a big, deeper explanation. We're so focused on the acts that we see people doing that nobody has stopped to look at, like, what's the overall thing here? Why are these people doing what they're doing? It's not just because they're all sick, they're all crazy. Like, if you run the stats, for example, most every person we hear that's like an abuser, pedophile, something like that, they were abused. But every abused does not, every abusee, if you will, blah, blah, does not become an abuser. So the stats don't match up, right? And so we have to take that out of the equation. You know, we were taught that like certain people just do stuff to other humans or to kids when they're pedophiles, they're this word, they're that, whatever, right? Well, there's a whole other currency that is the primary currency on earth, and it's energy. We're little walking bodies of energy. We're superconductors with our own energy. And until we become conscious of our own energy, we are paying and playing the wrong game, fueling the wrong stuff. If we think we are helping today by spreading the truth and telling everyone of every heinous thing that's going on, we're actually part of the problem. If we are holding community meetings, I don't want to go there. Let me say this. Right now you have a whole lot of people watching the news, and they're paying their attention to the problem. I think a whole lot of people have realized that that's probably not a beneficial way to spend their time. But it goes a little deeper than that. It's not just that like watching the news doesn't make you feel good. There is a cycle here, an energetic loop. And so when we are a part of it, part of it, we are fueling the loop with our energy. I have an analogy that I have figured out that helps to explain it. So, look at that color. It's super fizzy. It's jalapeno, cotton candy grape booch. Oh my God. Oh my God. As soon as I can ship it, it's coming to Virginia, Jackie. Okay, so I call this the energetic street. We've been taught that we are bags of blood and bones. We're gonna contract 4 to 5 diseases. That anxieties are given on planet Earth today, and that we're probably gonna die by whatever age. You know, this like sorry ass story about what we are. The truth is, we're bioconductive super creatures, and whatever we hold in our head space, our heart space, whatever we entertain with our thinking, whatever we give energy to with our voice, paired with our consciousness, speaking about to another person, we fuel, we give life to, we give energy to. Whatever we put our body, whatever we assemble on, even if we think it's a protest, we're giving energy to by being there. You see, there's no anti in a law of attraction universe. There's no such thing as protesting or resisting the problem. It's only inviting the problem. In the law of attraction universe, by entertaining it at all, you are entertaining it, even if you're saying you don't like it. So in the energetic street, let's say I am said beautiful woman, okay? And I'm walking down the street, and there is, you know, it's one of those plazas where the street has little shops on both sides, with a movie theater at the end, and a pub at the end, and a restaurant at the other. So it's a little area with a bunch of people in there, and everyone's paying attention to everyone, right? And I'm a beautiful woman walking down the street. And so everyone's paying attention to me because I am a beautiful woman. So when I stop and I pause in front of one of the shops, and I stop and I look in this window, and I really pay my attention through this window, looking at the window, I am paying energetic currency to the shopkeeper, all right? By being a beautiful woman and looking in his shop and paying attention to the things in his shop and other people watching me, I am not only paying energetic currency by looking, but I'm bringing him more energetic currency by having the others look at me, look at his shop, okay? So let's say I go in that shop. Even by walking in the shop, he has one more body in the shop. We all know, like a Gawker's block, that we like to pay attention where it's happening, where there's a lot of bodies. So any one more body in one more place brings more energy. So I have brought my energy into the shop. I'm now paying the shopkeeper by being inside his shop. If others are watching me saying, wow, look at that beautiful woman in this shop, I'm really paying. Now I'm actually funneling energy from others for him, energetically paying him. Okay? So now I decide to buy something. Now I am, again, paying him more energy. Others are watching me pay him energy. Others are paying more energy by watching me buy something, and I'm giving him financial currency, paying for the item I'm purchasing. Okay? So now I begin to walk out of the store holding the bag. As I come out of the store carrying his bag, I'm now advertising his store as a beautiful woman, continuing to pay him energetic currency as I come out of the store. The more people that see me, you understand this is endorsements, the more people that see me with that bag, the more people are aware, if they're equating that, they're being imprinted anyway by seeing the bag. So I am paying this man energetic currency by carrying the bag down the street. If I call up my friend and I say, whoa, I just got this amazing shirt at the store, then I might even pay him more energetic currency as my friend goes to the shop, walks her pretty self in there, and then buys us something and pays him energetic currency and financial currency, okay? So then I come out of, I think there's something tickling me, clearly, look like a cat. I come out of the store, and then I'm gonna meet my friends at the movie theater, okay? So we go into this movie theater, and we're gonna watch one of those crazy horror movies that has some heinous crap playing, that is a bunch of humans doing heinous things to other humans that I should probably never see, whether it's entertainment or not. Meaning that it would never happen in my random real life, okay? And in this particular movie, when I sit down and I'm watching it, and I'm with my boyfriend and my best friend and her husband, okay? So I sit down and I'm watching this, and the part of the movie happens, and I can feel like, inside. It feels, I don't like it at all. Like, there's a part of me that's like, yucky, I should not be watching this, right? And so, even though there's a part inside of me, and there's like, depending on how much I've honed this, might be a small part at this point that speaks to me intuitively now and flares up, if you will, but I'm not really paying attention to it because I'm kind of in shock about what I just saw. So I look to my side and I see my boyfriend and my best friend, and they're watching it too. And so it's become very normal really quickly. My brain is taking something where my cognitive dissonance might have been aroused, or fear might have spoken up for me because this is not something that's beneficial for me. And I'm seeing this, but the fact that my boyfriend is on one side and my girlfriend is on the other makes it normal. So my brain is very quickly trying to make this normal, very quickly trying to normalize this for me. And so by the time the movie is over, my brain has calmed down a little from that initial shock of seeing what I'm seeing, because it's paired with the normalcy of having this normal scene around me and the people that I love, that I do feel safe with beside me. So then we come out of that movie theater, and then we go to the pub next door. We're going to, grab a drink and a bite to eat. And all of the billboards there are advertising this movie. So they've got images from the movie all over, further imprinting us from the movie we just saw in more places now, adding to the fact that my brain is going to continue to try to make this more normal now since it's in more places, okay? And now I'm with my friends, and we're all going to talk about this, and one of them, I'm like, whoa, that movie was crazy. And then, she's like, yeah, that was crazy too. And this part where that happened, blah, 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 blah. And the more we talk about it, the more we have dialogue, even though it was preposterous and something I could not cognize to begin with. I could not make sense of that. And there was a part of me that reared up. But now, just from the hour and a half of the movie and the walk over to the pub and the talk about this part and that part, it's pretty normal. It might not be something that I want to deal with or watch again, but I'm no longer like, because I've normalized it now with the imprinting around me, the images. Maybe the menu even has a picture of something from the movie, you see. And so now I'm paying my attention. If it bothers me, I'm going to continue to pay attention to it. I'm going to continue to pay energy to it. If I call my friends and talk about it, I'm paying more energy. I'm paying more attention, and that energy is diseased and will manifest in my body eventually, if not cleared. There's another level of this. These systems, I will call them, these systems of people that are working in these ways and doing these heinous things, they are also some of the same entities that own the news networks and that which gets through to us, that which is attempting to program us. The movie theaters, I'm sorry, not the movie theaters, the movie manufacturers, some of these movie manufacturers of some of these movies where heinous things are happening that I say you probably shouldn't watch and you shouldn't cognize, in my opinion. These movies are not random. Some of them are movies made of actual rituals or ceremonial practices where these entities have committed these acts. And in creating a movie or a ceremonial reenactment of the act, by paying for the ticket and walking in and of our free will watching the movie, we are paying our energy to the act itself. We have become part of the ceremonial circuit and loop then. And so those that continue to watch and fuel the problem while talking about being truth tellers and not liking what's going on are actually part and parcel of the problem, because if you pay, you play. Because that whole energetic street scenario that I just gave you, you are the energy where you walk, where you talk, what you think about, and what you choose to commune about. What you choose to make bigger and expand upon, you will bring into your purview. And what we're really seeing in front of our face today, the problems of today, are actually the manifestations of yesterday's heart and head space. Not exactly in that time, but we've got this, what we're seeing, you know, everything in front of you is a manifestation. I don't want to get too scientific and lose everybody, but the table I'm on, this chair I'm sitting in, you know, we focus on things enough, they become manifestations, right? But what we don't understand is how powerful we are when we choose to focus on what we think is, when we see something the same way together, we make it bigger, okay? So when we are participating in any of this, if we are learning, there's so many people right now who think they are truth tellers and truth spreaders. And what they're doing is learning as much information about the problem as they possibly can and going as far down the rabbit hole as they can possibly go, so that they will be able to give you as much information as humanly possible. Okay? Cool. Fabulous. Please find me the human being who is going to take all that information, be able to digest and distill that information, remain healthy, remain useful, and turn it into tools where they can still stay balanced and be a contributing member of society. You're not going to find any. People aren't there yet. So we have all these people running around being truth tellers and you know, knowledge spreaders, whatever. But what we really need is some fundamental tools in how to remain balanced, make our own health and happiness a priority during these changing times on earth, where we're finding out that that which we have learned is not really the truth, that the way things have been presented is not the way they are. And when the ground underneath us gets shook, how do we stay rooted? How do we stay planted and firmly grounded so that we can remain effective in our everyday lives? That's what we need. That's what we need today. I titled this little talk, Turn the Other Cheek, because I think we have a real fundamental teaching here. I think that Jesus taught this lesson, and I think that the way he taught it has been misunderstood. At least the way that I learned it was misunderstood. Jesus says, turn the other cheek. And I was taught that Jesus is saying, turn the other cheek to avoid insult. Okay, that right there is silly and funny, because Jesus was supreme consciousness. I don't think Jesus cared too much about being insulted. It's kind of like thinking we need to be in the problem. You think if you sat in front of Jesus, Jesus would say, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. I really need all the details here so I can decide if I can deal with this problem. Like, let's sit down, let's have a meal over it, and I want to thoroughly digest all the details of this bullshit. No. You'd have been like, Jesus, did you know that? He'd have been like, I got it. And you'd have been like, but did you hear that? And you'd have been like, I got it. And you'd be like, did you know that the part that? And you'd be like, I got it. It's handled. Okay? Because Jesus knew that all was well. All right? So Jesus was saying, if you know that all is well, the best thing that you can do in any given situation is to become balanced energy in your own biology, in your own vessel, so that you can bring that to the situation, you can project that, but even better, you can see it. If you can see balance, if you can see beauty in that which is before you, the universe has to return it to you. If you can find the God in all things, you will find the God in all things. If you can condition yourself to see the situation as changing, transforming, healing before your very eyes, instead of death sentencing it as the worst thing you've ever seen and something you can't believe and oh my God, then you can allow for its continuous improvement and evolution. Jesus saying turn the other cheek is not about avoiding an insult. It's about learning to become conscious of your own energy and understand that as you walk down that street, you are an energetic vessel. You are walking God source energy. What you talk about, you give God source energy to. Where you walk in, you give God source energy. What you think about, what you carry in your hand, what you entertain in your mind and your heart. All of these ways, you are conducting God source energy. And that flow is as powerful as you allow it to be. So I believe what Jesus was saying was, turn the other cheek on the crap. So that when you see something, maybe see it with this eye, but then turn the other cheek as if duly noted. I see the dumb. However, I'm going to focus my God source energy, my vitality, my infinite possibility, what I see from my eyes, what I speak with my mouth, where I go with my head space, my heart space, on the solution. Jesus didn't look at someone and entertain their illness. He knew their wellness. Like I said, he didn't want to hear about the problem. He saw the solution in everything he approached. He knew well-being. He knew balance at any given time. He didn't need to entertain the possibility of things not working out. We're so concerned right now with what's going on in front of our faces because we've been taught to react to the problem and then to devote our energy into protesting the problem, which doubles down, not only doubles down on the problem, it sucks our own energy and vitality where we can't create and walk in the solution. So today, I think the only way for us to continue to walk through all of this and remain healthy and happy is to create our own calm and our own well-being and to become conscious of our own energy. Because these fools that are running this game are very aware of energy. That's why they're able to manipulate it so. And since we, as a population, have been absolutely unaware of our energy, we have freely given it. It's a free will planet. No one takes it from us. No one sucks it from us. Everybody running their mouth about this system, this politician, this whatever, doesn't take a damn thing from you. I don't care what you say. Hit me on here and I will explain to you. If you pay attention, then you pay your energy, your focus. No one takes it from you. It's all about becoming conscious of how powerful you are, of how vital you are, of what you have flowing to you, through you, and from you, and what you're going to choose to do with it. And from there, you create the solution. I'll give you one more of my little analogies, which is lovely. So you got two tables in the park, right? And this table says neighborhood watch. This table says bring your brownies and your hula hoops and come play, right? So we go up to this table and it says, yeah, bring your family, sign this piece of paper. We're going to show you where all the pedophiles are. We're going to show you where all the offenders are. And we ask that you bring one family member from your family and volunteer for the neighborhood watch. And we're going to go around the neighborhood and we're going to find all the problems. So I ask you right now, are they going to find the problems? The answer is yes. They're looking for it. Of course they're going to find the problems. They're going to find all the offenders and then some, right? Because they're a magnet for the problem in a law of attraction universe. What's even also happening there is the family is getting weakened because one of the family members is coming out of the home, not getting the sleep, not getting that connection time. There's a whole lot that happens when you sleep in your home with your family, right? And so the family's getting weakened, and they're aware of the problem, and they're experiencing the problem. Okay, cool. It's a solution, I suppose. It's a low consciousness solution, okay? This other table, when you walk up, I hand you a hula hoop, and I'm like, hey, what a hula hoop? And you're like, this chick, right? But it makes you smile, and it makes you laugh, which right there just improved your chemical makeup. We just bounced your biology a little bit. So when you come in, you get something to eat. Whoa, that's right there. And this is making you feel good. This is feeding the body. Once you eat with other people, your body is producing oxytocin. Once we have you laughing and perhaps playing in a game, engaging with others, now we got dopamine production, serotonin, norepinephrine, GABA, endorphins, all the feel-good chemicals. Whoa, in the flow, right? You're feeling nice. Your health is improving. Now, you say, wow, this is a good time. Maybe you exchange numbers with someone. Maybe you have kids. Maybe I get your number and you have kids, and we come back a couple times and hang out a couple times. And even after a couple times of hanging out, I've started to understand your personality enough to know when something's maybe a little bit off, or to ask if the kids are doing all right. That, my friend, is the neighborhood watch. That is the neighborhood watch with a health improvement edition. Ha ha! And no one in the family is weakened. Everyone is strengthened, and we're creating community. There's a quote, I forget his name. I want to say Jerry Bruckheimer, but I'm not sure if that's right. I've referred to it before. I can find it and put it on here. But a paraphrase is, don't waste your time tearing down the old. Build something new that makes the old obsolete. Absolutely. We're divine creatures, filled with God source energy each and every day. We have solutions and possibility flowing to us if we would just step into that capacity and decide that it's coming, right? And of course, you know, Jesus was one heck of a practitioner on that. Quite an energy worker, if you ask me. Understood the physics on planet Earth immensely. But, I mean, on the most simplistic level, Jesus understood that all things good were accessible. He offered no resistance. In our upbringing and ways of, I want to say existing instead of living, we've been taught to reach for every form of existence, to look for why things won't work, to stand in the way. And so we don't receive all that really is there freely flowing to us. So, in the new year, I'm trying to shuffle these cards. I'm going to pull a card for you all. I'm going to take questions for a few minutes if anybody wants to holler at me. In the new year, I am offering life groups. You can join a life group. We have individual and family coaching. I have been doing this for a long time. This will be 28 years now. I've been a personal trainer and nutritionist, and I have a system now that helps you. I won't even say it helps you. It allows you to balance your biology, to recalibrate your energy, and to improve your quality of living, because you're the only thing standing in the way. The good news is you're the problem. The even better news is you're the solution. Yes. So in the new year, I am kicking off those groups. I had created a village that had members in it, an online village, a virtual meeting space that had members in it from all around the world. I had people from every continent but Antarctica. How cool is that, right? We had people speaking different languages. It was such a beautiful thing. So we're going to kick back up life groups. And I mean, you can be from anywhere and join a life group. But if you want personal help with all this stuff, you can come get in on that. I do have a reading sale going until the end of the year. You guys can get 15% off of all of my products. I extended the sale through, I have this in a bag because it smells so good. This is my favorite. I extended the sale through, I wish you could smell it. It's like so not fair. I extended the sale through the beginning of the year, and Holiday Home is on back order. If anybody wants that, that was my limited edition holiday soap, and it sold out before I even had a chance to advertise it on here. So you haven't heard anything about it on here, but if you're one of my clients, you may know about this, and it was a beautiful, beautiful scent. It will be back next year, but I am taking back order right now, and I will fill them before the beginning of the year. Join my private network. I'm going to be speaking in detail about the things that are going on in the world today, about the social engineering, the genetic engineering that's in effect, and how you can exit the game. There is a way out of all of this. Like I said, the good news is you're the problem. The even better news is you're the solution. You don't have to pay, and you don't have to play. Once you become cognizant of your own energy and decide that you're going to live in a way that's beneficial. So let's pull a card, and then if you all would like to ask me, anybody has questions, please ask. All right, we have Freya, radical acceptance, and she's upside down. Her number is 15, so 1 and 5 together make 6. And 6 is about balance and a circle, assistance. Oh, my ears just unplugged. It says failure and disappointment are parts of life that few want to accept. Perhaps a job that doesn't come through. Perhaps a job you want doesn't come through. A lover you thought was the one betrays your hopes and expectations. Or maybe your kids are acting out. Perhaps a long-term creative project didn't yield the success you so dearly hoped for. Or perhaps you were hurt by someone for no apparent reason. Goddess of War and Radical Acceptance Freya says, have no fear. This is only temporary. Now is not time to linger in perceptions of low self-worth. Your alignment task is to accept the truth wholeheartedly and see your situation exactly for what it is. She will bring you to a place of surrender where you have time to heal. Freya knows that you will emerge stronger and wiser. Only good will come out of this. Trust the goddess Freya is watching over you. As I read this, it makes me think, I know that it's disappointing for some to see the systems in front of them failing, and it feels scary. But the good news is, like, humanity's consciousness is evolving each and every day, right? We're not where we were yesterday. That's the gospel truth. And the blessing of this is these systems have been defunct for a really long time. You know, that's why we just went through a period of, let's see here, it's kind of calmed down in the last year, but we just went through a period in the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years of a bunch of stories coming forth, truth tellers, you know what I mean? People coming forward and saying, this industry, this is happening in where I work, or this is what happened in my business. And so it seems like, oh my God, there's so much more chaos than ever before. But there's not. What there is more communication, more light, more growth. It's like, I have a great analogy for this. Mom keeps house. She keeps house the same all the time, right? But when Junior is 2 years old and Junior communicates with Mom, it seems like it's just a little communication. There's not much going on. As Junior gets older, Junior's like, can't find this, or that's dirty, or I don't have this, right? And it seems like there's more not going right in the house. There's more chaos in the house. There's the same degree of housekeeping, the same degree of house interacting from Mom. Junior is more interactive. His relationship with Mom and the home is becoming more conscious. That's what's up. Humans it's not that spirit is changing. It's not that God is changing. It's that humanity is a young species, and we're growing and evolving. And our relationship to Creator, to Spirit changes. We become able to process more. We become gifted the ability to be privy to more things going on, because we're now not just two in the house. We're older in the house, and we can say, hey, this is dirty. We need to clean it up. Do you know? When we were little, we didn't even see it. So it's a really beautiful time to be on earth, understanding that it is kind of scary. But if we linger in perceptions of low self-worth, or thinking that things are just too out of control, we won't be able to move anywhere. So if we can, it says, accept the truth wholeheartedly for what it is, it's a place of surrender and a time to heal. Surrender doesn't mean that you're stuck. Surrender means you quit fighting in the way that wasn't working. Surrender is a beautiful place to be. I've been told a lot of times, Heather, not everyone thinks of surrender like you do. Yeah, well, after you have your ass kicked a few hundred times, you learn that maybe that's not the way to roll, you know? So, I'm really grateful to be here with you guys today. Does anyone have anything to ask me? Any questions for me today? I'm really grateful you all are here. Like I said, please go to my YouTube channel and follow me there, but I will be doing regular videos on my own Chieftess Living Network, because I will be able to speak freely there, and interact freely there. So please join there. You can join there for free. Just hit that little button, and then you'll go down and it says access, and then create yourself a little profile, where they just remodeled the network. I am in the process of becoming familiar with it again, and so we're regularly dripping content in there, and we will be in full force in the new year. I'm looking at my notes again. I have life groups if you want private coaching, if you want to be part of a group in the new year, and that's all about your physical health and your spiritual and mental health. So that's fitness training, nutrition services, and energetic balance, because I've decided you gotta have them all. It's a pyramid there. It's a triad there. You can't have two and not three and be long term in the game. So, and that's the name of the game right now: maintaining our balance, our health, and our happiness as we continue to move forward with this crazy, chaotic time on Earth. Like, this is going to be a lot of change. And as these systems come down and people see more of the chaos and more of the defunct, just more of the junk. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to... If it's not you right now, you all know someone who's in some system that you're like, I cannot believe that is happening. Like, no way, right? Everyone has that right now. It's that time on Earth where you're like, no. And you, yeah, I know. You know, you have that in your body, in your relationship, in your job, in your something, or you know someone who does. It's just that time. So, and that's going to get more and more intense. I mean, the Earth herself is actually changing in vibration. You can research the Schumann resonance. She's a living thing, and she's shaking it up. She has called for more light. So as she increases in vibration, she becomes intolerant and incapable of hosting the denser, darker vibration of dis-ease. Hallelujah. Right? Can I have an amen? This is the prettiest thing ever, isn't it? So, it's a beautiful time to be here, but the key is to find our own balance so that we can turn the other cheek on the drama and not be part of their trauma. You know what I'm saying? It's the day to walk in the sunlight of the Spirit and to dance in all the goodness that we are given our own selves. But we don't want it hijacked. You got to hold on to that. So, thank you for joining me tonight. Please join the network. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm getting sleepy. I have 15% off of all of my products again until the end of the year. This is a lip eye balm with my little holiday nails. Ooh, so pretty. I'm sleepy. Thank you all for joining me. I love you. Please leave comments. Please comment in the comments and let me know also what you would like for me to talk about in the future. My boyfriend will be joining me here. If not the next time, then the next time. And we'll be talking to you guys about that. Having to recalibrate in La Casa. Yeah, it's like game on when you live with me. I'm excited to share with you more stuff about what's going on with my family. I really changed my energetic engagement as of recent and full-fledged. This sounds nuts. Oh my God. As I say this statement, I was going to say full-fledged devoted my attention to my family. Not that I wasn't before, but what I find is there's usually a whole lot of ways that we're draining our batteries, paying our attention to things that we're not even aware of. So I eliminated some of those as of recent, and I was able to, it's like having a bunch of plugs run out of you, you know what I mean? And so I pulled some out of some things and pulled them into empowered my family more. And we're all so much healthier and happier for it. I'm really about that balance. So, and I just think it's that time. It's that time on earth where she's heating it up. And either you're going to get with that increase or you're going to get gone. That's basically what it's coming down to. So, I know that's a harsh statement, but she's a planet that forces adaptation. We're a living species on her, blessedly so. So, thank you for joining me. Please comment in the comments, DM with questions. Remember, reading sale through the beginning of the year. I'll hold that through the 3rd. So that's a really big deal. You can do a natal reading, prosperity, relationship, health reading. We can tie all that in there. Tarot, natal chart. I already said that. Yeah. So that's it. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me.